Hi guys, so today I decided that I'd like to do a video, and I thought that I would do a video on being an LEO's wife, because it can be a very different lifestyle, and it can be very rewarding and very stressful at the same time. So let's just get right into it. So I've been with my husband for 15 years, and he has been an LEO since I met him. And I definitely didn't know what I was getting into when we first got together. You kind of just see them, and for me, I like a man in uniform, so that's kind of what you can go by. But there's a lot more, obviously, to that when you get involved with an LEO. So, for the most part, it's a very rewarding lifestyle. I'm very proud of my husband and what he does, and I think all LEOs are exceptional people. I mean, it takes a special person that can do that job, can put their life on the line and work as hard as they do, and go hit, basically look danger right in the face and go full force in that direction, when most of us would run in the opposite direction. These men and women are running directly towards it. So it definitely takes a special person that can do this job. Now, like I said, it's a hard family to be in, for sure. They work long hours, unpredictable hours. A lot of times they have their set shifts, and you never know what's going to come up in that shift that's going to derail your plans. There's many times at the end of a shift that my husband, something will come up where it's going to take him 3 hours or more before he gets to come home, because he has to take care of whatever it is that has come up. There's been many, and then I have to pick up the slack, if I can say that. Like, I have to make sure that I'm available, or I have somebody that I can call that can be available, as far as with Alexis and picking her up from school or being home with her. I work evenings, so excuse me. So when he has these moments where something comes up and he can't come home, I need to be able to kind of drop things or figure out who's going to be able to watch Alexis, or do I need to take time off to stay home with Alexis. So that can be very stressful. I'm not a stay-at-home mom, so juggling all of our schedules and making that work can be very hard. And it's not just for LEOs, obviously. I mean, that happens with most people, especially shift workers. But with an LEO, they just really don't know how their shift's going to go. So, and then how long it's going to take them before they can get home. So that's a big challenge that we always have to work with. And again, it's why, as I've been saying, I'm trying to get a day shift, because then it's kind of, at least I'm always home as far as Alexis being taken care of. He doesn't have to worry about who's going to be home in time to pick up Alexis, because I'd always be home. So anyway, that is a small thing that we have to deal with as far as being an LEO's wife. Obviously, the biggest thing is the danger that is involved with their jobs, and that's a serious thing, and it's something that they have to deal with every day when they go to work. So one thing that and this is something that a lot of people, if you're not in the lifestyle, if you're not married or have a spouse, a father, somebody that is in your immediate family that isn't an LEO, it's hard for other people to understand how it works, and that they can't just not go to work, or they can't just say, well, you know, I'm off at 4, so I'm leaving if something comes up. Like, they can't do that. They may have to be stuck for another 8 hours on with their shift. They can't leave. And a lot of people, I know a lot of my friends and especially my family, have a hard time understanding that, how they can't just leave, how they can't just be, you know, at our family functions or whatever we're doing. And that doesn't always work. There's a lot of times that I have to go to family functions or different things without my husband because he has to work. And that's just part of it. But yes, the danger aspect of it is always very real. There's been many times we've had friends of ours who have passed away in the line of duty, and we've had friends that have been in shootouts that my husband himself, he's had different weapons pulled on him. He's been in fights. He's been bitten. That was a bad one where one of the calls, it was a female, and he was trying to help her because the call was that she wanted to harm herself, and she bit him very badly on the arm, where he had to have many tests done to make sure that he was fine, and you know, that he didn't contract anything from her. So there's many things like that comes up. There's been many sleepless nights where my husband's been on call, and he'll get called out in the middle of the night and have to go by himself to a house party. And those were always the ones that made me the most nervous, because he would always be outnumbered, and I always thought if something goes wrong, it could go sideways very easily and very fast. And where we were at that time there was no backup. Like, you know, you see on TV, live PD, different cop shows where there's always 10 cop cars that show up. Like, there's so many different people that are there to help, but that's not how it actually works here. Like, there, especially where we lived before, there was no backup. So it was him, and you just hope everything goes smoothly, right? So that was very, very stressful. So now and then one thing that I find very hard, and that a lot of people don't realize, is that LEOs, as soon as they put on their uniform and walk out the door, there's people that want to do them harm just because of that uniform. My husband's been threatened. Our family's been threatened. We've had to put in panic alarms in our house because of threats to our family, because my husband's done his job. And unfortunately, that's one of the downfalls of this lifestyle, and comes with the territory. And most of the friends that we know that are in the same field have had the same problems. There's always threats. There's always going to be threats. And I find it very, not hard to take, but it's very, I just hate the fact that as soon as any of these people, my husband and all his coworkers, as soon as they put on that uniform, there's people out there that hate them just for that uniform. And they don't realize that these people are just like everybody else. When you take off that uniform, they have families at home. They have kids that want them to come home at the end of their work shift. And there's people out there that want to harm them. and they don't just for that uniform. So these are always things that you always have in the back of your mind when in the back of my mind, when my husband leaves, when he puts that uniform on. As much as I respect that uniform and I think he looks damn fine in his uniform, there's people that want to harm him for that uniform. So every day that he leaves, I always say I love you and to be safe, because you never know what you're going to come up on at any time. So then there's also the people that really do love that uniform and that kind of chase the uniform, which is also something that is a downfall with the lifestyle. I mean, there's that's with anything, but it does seem to be a high percentage with LEOs and infidelities and stuff like that, because of the uniform and women kind of chase them. And so that's always fun. You always hear, you know, heard many comments about my husband and women hitting on him and all this stuff, but it's part of the parcel, part of the you know, what you go through. And you just, now I can laugh at it. When I was younger, of course, I didn't find it as funny, but now that's fine. I understand. He looks good, so that doesn't bother me anymore. But the worst part of being an LEO's wife, like I said, is the danger that they're put in daily, and that we always have to worry if are they going to come home at the end of their shift. And it's definitely a worry, but there are definitely the good parts. I mean, you know, I used to help my husband out when he worked with the schools, and seeing the kids with him and him interacting with the public that really respected him. And we've gone out and he's had people come up to him and thank him for everything that he does. So that's always nice. So there is a good side. Not everybody is obviously wanting to do harm or disrespectful. Therein is so nice, because you kind of get stuck in the bad. You kind of focus on the bad because you see more of that. But there is the good, and there is the respectful people, and the people that want to help. LEOs, and not just kind of sit back and shoot their mouth off. So I'm not sure if this video made any sense, but I just kind of wanted to explain a little bit of being an LEO's wife and kind of the stressors. But there is obviously benefits, and we're able to do a lot of wonderful things because of his job and the things that it offers us. So I could probably make many different parts to this video about different things that has come up with my husband. You know, he worked away for a while, and he actually had to sleep with shields by their beds because there was threats to them, and that people were going to come and shoot up where they were staying. So, you know, there's things like this that they have to deal with every day. And so, but for the most part, we're very blessed with where we are. And in Canada, it's not nearly as violent, but there's always, of course, the chance that it could go sideways at any minute. But we've been blessed, and that's just a little bit of my life as an LEO, and I might do a part 2 of this just to explain some other things that goes on in the life. But if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you guys would like to know about the lifestyle. Okay, thanks. Bye, guys.